He's for the game. He's for the Viking. He's a big Viking. He thinks he's awesome.
Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and this is an awesome family game called Problem Picnic, the Attack of the Ants. Basically, what this is that there's these picnics going on with all this cool food on there, and each person is going to be controlling an anthill, and they do that by rolling dice and trying to collect the food before the other ants at the other anthills, controlled by the other players, collect the food before them. This is a fantastic game for families and for like just very light gamers that are interested in these. I played this with my family several times and we've absolutely adored it. So let me talk about how the game is played, and I'll come back here and I'll give you exactly why I think it might fit for you and your family. Alright, cool. This is Problem Picnic, and with any good dexterity family game, this is a very straightforward game to teach, and it is a very easy game to play. To begin with, you are going to set up a certain number of these plates of food, depending on the number of players. You set up all 9 of these in a 4-player game. This is the way I've mostly played the game because I have a family with 4 members in it, and we've had a lot of fun playing it. Each person is going to get an anthill, and they're going to get all the dice that are associated with that anthill. So if I'm the blue player, I get this anthill, the blue anthill, and I get all these dice. I'll talk about those in just a second. You set out these scoring cards. You get this basic scoring card that it's going to have all these different points for scoring. These particular scoring markers are randomized. You just shuffle them up and put 1 down on each one. So, you know, in this game, having the most watermelon in the game is worth 7 points, but it might not be worth that much, and worth as much the next time you play. You do get these different scoring cards that are just going to be for this particular game. You get a very large deck of these, and you just draw a random number of them depending on the number of players. With 4 players, you have obviously 5 of those. So here we have, like, having the fewest sandwiches at the end of the game is worth 4 points. Having the most blue plates with watermelon is worth 5. And then you can kind of see the synergy there, or most picnic cards total overall is worth 6. And you can see, like, the watermelon one, you know, coincides really well with, like, blue plates are worth 6, watermelons worth 7. Well, heck, if you can get blue plates with watermelon on them, you know, that's a really good synergy with those points, and so a lot of people might be gunning for that. Alright, so you will be rolling. Each person on their turn, they take one of their dice and they roll it, and they try to land it on one of these cards, because if they have ants on those cards, they earn that as long as they have the most ants on there. Now, you have 3 types of dice. You have your big 12-sided, which is your soldier. You have the backbone of your anthill, which is the large 6-sided, that is your worker. And then you have your fast and nimble 6-sideds that are your scouts. Now, the backbone, these guys have a total, the maximum number of 4 ants on one of their sides, and they're like stronger and they're bigger and they can cover up more area. The soldiers only have a total of possible 2 on one of their sides, but they're that bigger 12-sided, and also they roll really well, and so you can use them to knock other people's dice off of an area. So like let's see, that's there. So let me see if I can do this here. Yeah, so you could use that to knock somebody else off, and that's kind of their role. I mean, yeah, you could use them to, like, try to land on a card to get some points and collect that food, but, you know, mostly that's the one you're holding on to try to, like, you know, knock other players' ants off of a plate that you really want, so you can establish majority there. The final die here is the scout die. When you roll the scout die, I'm gonna try. That was horrible. When you roll the scout die, one of the things about the scout die is if you miss everything, like it lands and it isn't on any of the plates, the first time, after the first, and one time only, you can pick it up, and if it lands on a plate, you have to leave it there. But you can pick it up and you can roll it again to have a better shot at trying to land on the spot. So you can see, not only do you have to try to land the dice on there, but having it land on a large number of ants on the side is a big help as well. Kind of a tumbling dice thing, if you've ever played that game. You know, and I'm probably sure that they were at least a little bit inspired by tumbling dice for this game. But anyway, regardless, the game progresses. Each person takes a turn rolling I'm just doing this randomly. I'm not trying to do everybody's turn in this situation. And then when you're done and everybody's taken their turn and place all their dice and they've landed on there, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take off all the dice that aren't on a card. And so, like, I'm just going to... And it doesn't have to be totally on the card, as long as it touches it just a little bit. That's fine. And I think that's all of them that are considered to be missed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at each and every card and see who has the most ants on there. So like this one's all by itself, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that off of there and move it to there. Now normally when your ants like come back from like dragging that food all the way back to your anthill, your ants have to go to this little pond and they have to relax and chill out. But your soldier ants don't have to do that because they're tough and they're strong and they don't need that moment to chill out. But in this situation, with this ant claiming this particular tray of cookies, we're going to go ahead and put that guy because they're going to need to relax a little. And so the same thing happens with this one. And then that would, oh, sorry, and that is a soldier ant, so that one goes back. Now over here, we have a 4, a 3, and a 1. So red's going to get that one. So red goes over to the pool. The other two return. Take that one off. Only yellow was on that one, so we'll go ahead and put that one there. And now we have a situation where blue has 3, and green has 2, and red has 2. So blue is going to have both of these ants head over there. They get returned. We're going to take this one. And then finally the one in the middle. Blue has 3, yellow has 8, green has 6, and red has 5. So let me just, right now, obviously, yellow is winning this one, and they're going to take it. But let me just show a couple of different things that possibly could happen. So normally, we'd go, yellow would go over here, and then they claim that, and then this card would be gone. But in the case of a tie, it's very important. So let's say that we have this situation where it's a tie. Now, red has 6, green has 6. Nobody's going to get that play. Basically, all the ants are fighting over that. However, if we had this one off there, and we had a little ant with 2, and that was 6, green would win this because they have the larger ants for that particular situation. And so red would go home hungry, and green would take it, and they'd go over here to the pool and not be used. The same thing goes for, like, here's a one that has a 1 on it, and a 1. They would take it because of the fact that they are a larger ant. So just that's how you break those ties. All right, so at the end of the round, you will then replace the spots that are missing. So we just go ahead and take these guys. We're going to go ahead. And you're trying to make sure that the gaps between... Ooh, there we go. Oh, look, another one. Oh my gosh, look at all those watermelons. Watermelons on blue plates. Everybody's going to be aiming for over here. But so the goal here is that you're trying to leave enough room between each of the cards that a die will fit between those. And obviously you can shorten that and make it bigger or whatever, depending upon... You just basically what you want to... You never want to have a situation where a die is touching both of the 2 cards at once, because that can't happen. That isn't a situation where you have to establish definitively which card a die is on. So you replace all of those. Whoever has the least number of food plates gets a round card. A round card is basically a special power that they're able to use at some point later on in the game. They don't have to use it in the next round. However, if they were to draw another round card and they have one in their possession, they have to get rid of that one and take the new one. So this round card is Bug Spray. You can put that over one of the plates of food over there. If there's any dice on that plate of food and you put it on there, those are returned to their owners, and they can then be re-rolled. But any dice that end up on that card later go directly to the pool area because, they get hit with the Bug Spray and they don't want to be on there. So this is just, a catch-up mechanism that allows the people to have it. Now, you might be wondering, when do these guys return from the pool? So now everybody will take this turn and they'll roll their dice again. And after they roll their dice again and you collect the cards, before the dice go to the pool for collecting more food, you take back all the dice that are over there and put them back with everybody's collection on their anthill, and then you put the other new ones over at the pool. So you get them back. You only lose access to the dice ones. So you'll keep playing this game until basically you run out of these round cards. When you're instructed to draw a round card but there's none available, then the game is over. You then determine who has the most points by figuring out who has the fewest sandwiches, who has the most green plates with cookies, and so on and so forth. Whoever achieves those gets these particular tokens. If 2 or more people ever tie for one of these scoring things, then nobody gets the green token and everybody gets one of these blue tie tokens that are worth 2 points each. You total up whoever has the most points, and that is the winner of Problem Picnic. Like I said, the game is just cool looking. It is inviting for children to see it. It's brightly colored. It's easy to play. It's one of the best family games I've played in a long time. But let me talk more about that in my final thoughts. All right, thank you very much for learning how to play Problem Picnic. The people that are behind this game are the same people that are behind the game Food Fighters, a game that my daughter and I greatly enjoy, and one of my favorite games that has come out recently. It came out last year. My daughter and I have we played our prototype to tatters, and then we picked up a copy of the retail version, and we've really enjoyed it. And so when I was contacted by the husband and wife team that is publishing this and they told me about it, I was really excited to give it a try, and it did not disappoint. Now, the one thing about Food Fighters was it was a 2-player game, and my son would always sit there at the side of the table and stare at us and watch us play, and he really wanted to join in. And so when I got this one and I realized that it satisfied up to 4 people, I was really excited to be able to include him at the table. And he's 4, and he's going to be 5 here in just a matter of a few days. But it's one of those things where he got it. I mean, he was 4, almost 5, and he understood, rolling his dice, trying to land on the cookies or whatever. And, you kind of had to tell him a little bit of the strategy as far as the scoring went. But, as far as understanding the mechanism and understanding what his goal was, and, having him achieve it and earn it, and, then be able to get his points and count up his points himself, and, being proud of himself for doing that, I mean, that's something that I really enjoyed. And if it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't have been able to see him kind of like the little tumblers and the little things clicking together and figuring out exactly what he was doing. I mean, he knew he was playing a game, but then, you could kind of see that he was actually, realizing, things where it was wait a minute, I have 3 ants on this one, but Dad has 4 ants on that one, and I really want, that plate of purple cookies. So I'm going to take this die, and I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to try to get more ants on that particular plate than Dad. And it was fun to see that. And obviously it's fun to see my daughter. My daughter has been playing these types of games with me, and I remember seeing that in her when I played games when she was 4 or 5 years old, and she had that, those moments where things kind of slid together. And I really appreciated the games back then that allowed me to see that. And I'm really appreciating this game as well for allowing me to see that with my son. So if you're looking for a very lighter game, I've played this with my gaming group too, and they had fun with it. I think they like the antagonistic nature of rolling the dice and trying to hit each other. My friend Craig loves dexterity games, so it's always fun to play these types of games with him. But obviously this is geared towards family. The art and everything else, the presentation is very geared towards family play. And if you are a gamer that has a family and you want to be able to play this type of game, I would really strongly suggest that you check this guy out. So there you go. If you have any questions about it, ask away. I'll be happy to answer those as best as I can. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I'm the Undead Viking telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.